Hello and welcome to my 2017 Streetluge season roundup video. In this video I'm going to go through some of the training, setups and races that I've been to, as well as some of the fantastic competitors. Overall this season has been super competitive, with not a single race going by where we've had an easy ride at it. Overall, Ryan Farmer won the series, congratulations to him. In second place is Abdul Madzan, myself in third, and Colby Parks in fourth place. Anyway, here's my roundup video and I hope you enjoy it. I started my pre-season training over in Tenerife. Over 3 days I did over 350 kilometers of riding. The great thing about training over in Tenerife is the all year round sun. And also some of the runs over there are incredibly long. One of them I did over 26 kilometers in a single run. This also incorporates some high speed straights, corners, hairpins, a huge variety of everything that I needed to get ready for the season. My first race of the season was Ariane Hill over in South Korea. This was the first time I've ever raced over in Asia, so I was incredibly excited to go to this race. The track is just over 1.4 kilometers in length, incorporates 10 turns, and some of the steepest hairpins I've ever ridden before. And these were so challenging, I didn't even know we were going to make it round on the first couple of runs. Also out this race was Abdul Madzan from Malaysia. He's a two-time world champion and he's currently on a 3-race winning streak, and will be incredibly difficult to beat on this course. Adding to the competition was also Australia's Michael O'Keefe. I set my Macau luge up with 6 3D Amabillas. I should have run with 8 really, as I kept on sliding out around the turns. At the time I was weighing around about 98 kilos, so trying to get that around these tight hairpins was really difficult. For the Streetluge final, I managed to get off the line pretty quick next to Abdul Madzan, but as soon as we come into the first right-hander, he just pulls away. So there's such a huge advantage on that right-hand lane. Then coming into the left-hander, he pulls this huge stoppie going into it. Managed to get off a lot of speed very late. I actually thought he was going to crash at one point. And then coming on further on down the course, I just managed to hang behind him and not really gaining. Until when I'm coming into the waterfall left and then into the tight right. And then I managed to actually start pulling it back by quite a lot, and then going through the right-hander, I accidentally scrubbed too much speed. And then from then on he just pulled away from me all the way down the course. I hung on for second place. I was really pleased with this, as it was my first podium in the bag for the season. Next race up was APAC in Brazil. This was the first time I've been back to Brazil to race since 2009, which is where I got my first ever World Cup win. Before going out to this race, I saw the track and I thought it wasn't very technical. Upon arriving, it was far from it. The middle section had a really good S-bend in it. The straights were very quick, in speeds of around about 110 kilometers an hour. And then the end section, which had a hard left, right, left, was almost impossible to do. As the setup I had would either be really, really good on the straights and then wouldn't get around the corners, or you could have it really good on the corners, but then getting it down the straight without speed wobbling was very difficult. Other competitors at this event included Ryan Farmer from the USA, who went on to win this year's series. Also at this race was Leo Borton. Last time I raced him was in Teutonia in 2009, where we both went flying into the fast left-hander and didn't break. In the end, Ryan won this event, with myself in second, Alexander in third and Leo came in fourth. Kicking off the Euro Tour was Kingsgate in Austria. Kingsgate is a classic European style track, with 6 hairpins and 2 sweepers over 1.6 kilometers. All of the top Streetluge competitors were there, including Mikel, Colby Parks, Abdul Madzan, George Cheeseman, Martin Big-Zigman, and Peter Elliott. The weather on the first day was great, with sun all day, but I still had some offs. second and third days were terrible, with rain making an already technical course even harder. Most of qualifying was done in the wet, and without any wet wheels, I ended up qualifying in last place. Race day was luckily dry for me. In each heat I was seated in last place, meaning that I wouldn't have any lane choice throughout the racing. I managed to outpush most of my competition straight off the line, meaning that once I got in front, I just had to stay in front and not get knocked out. In the final, I was against fellow Brit George Cheeseman, Abdul Madzan and Mikel. I managed to get off the line in third place. Unfortunately, I stayed on the wrong side of Mikel during the long left sweeper. What I should have done is tried squeezing on the left side here, and then hopefully tried to get a little bit more of an edge over either Mikel or Abdul going into the right-hander. Coming into the next left-hander, Abdul squeezes me over to the right, and then he just managed to pull away. What actually happens is I scrubbed a little bit of speed coming into this, and it made a huge difference. After the long straight, I tried pulling it back on the left-hander, so much so that I almost went off myself. And then after there, Abdul was just too far ahead of me to catch him. The results in the end were Mikel coming in first, Abdul in second, myself in third, and George Cheeseman coming in fourth place. I was really pleased with this result because coming all the way from last place to getting on the podium was absolutely fantastic, but it was very, very difficult to do. Round 4 was Koskov Challenge in the Czech Republic. The Koskov track is the fastest in the European series, with speeds of over 115 km per hour. I had to change literally my entire setup from what I was running at Kingsgate the week before. I had on 8 3DM Villas and wedged my Ronin trucks up to 55 degrees. I decided to switch to 6 85mm speed vents, run my trucks with no wedges or risers, as well as harder bushings. After a few runs of this, I then decided to lengthen the wheelbase as well slightly, just to get a little bit more stability. And coming down the final straight before the right-hander, it really paid off. I felt super stable and super in control all the way around the turn. There was another great field of competitors, but the two to look out for was local rider Andre and the legendary Chris McBride. The results for Koskov were Mikel in first, Abdul in second, and Ryan in third place. I ended up coming in sixth place. For some reason, I never do well at Koskov. In 2011, I qualified in second, and then ended up finishing 13th. And in 2014, I ended up in hospital after a crash. I did manage to stay in front of Mikel all the way down the course until the last corner, where we would have gone through side by side. But I decided to back off, but I backed off too much, and both Mikel and Andre went shooting past me. My final race of the season was Tiolo in Italy. Tiolo is around 1.6 kilometres, the upper section is around about 90 kilometres per hour, before levelling out and going into a chicane, and 6 slow but tight hairpins, with a slow sweeping section before the finish. As always with Tiolo, the weather was incredibly hot, with temperatures around 40 to 45 degrees C. With the higher temperature, I decided to race on 6 81A villas. I used 6 because the top and the bottom sections I need to keep my rolling resistance low, and the hairpins were slow enough that if taken carefully I wouldn't scrub out. We could see the rain clouds further down the valley before the final. Mikel, Colby, Andre and myself hastily lined up. Tiolo is another track where lane choice makes a huge difference, as the left two lanes offer a slightly better line and more of a drop, whereas the right hand two aren't as good. Even with a good push, I ended up in third place coming down the straight. Where the track flattens out, I managed to get past Colby, as I was around about 20 kilograms heavier than him and carried the speed better to run the flatter section. Mikhail by this point had pulled too far away for me to catch him, but I still had Colby and Andre right behind me the entire way down the track. In the end, Mikhail managed to come in first, I came in second, Colby in third, and Andre in fourth place. Tiolo was the last race for me this season.
God, that was mad.
In 2017, my IDF world ranking was third place, with McCallum first, Abden in second, Taff third, and Colby in fourth. I was really pleased with this result as I hadn't raced the whole of last year, and I'd only done one race the year before. So coming back from near enough of retirement to coming in third, I'm super pleased with. I would like to thank everyone over at Bitchchem for helping and supporting me this year, but also Dan at Seismic Skate for sorting me out some absolute fantastic wheels from Seismic. Venom bushings have also been really helpful. Ronin for the trucks and also the support on the road. And also my amazing partner Kat, Marshall, for putting up with me, going away, doing all this crazy stuff while she's been at home for quite a lot of the time, looking after our little one. And also for coming to Austria, where it went a little bit crazy, but we had a good time in the end. I'm looking forward to doing this all again in 2018. Thanks again for all your help and support, and I'll see you next year.